Yo, Tibbs, I gotta say one thing.
What up?
Your mom was looking beautiful at that conference.
Thank you.
She walked in looking like she had that snow leopard print on. She looked like
that J-Lo.
She looked like she just came out of the Lil Kim music video in the early 2000s. She did her little strut, and then on the second day of it, she was walking to go get her phone charger. And she unplugged it. She was, and her phone, I think, made like a little ding. And she looked up and was like, made a little look. I'm like, you better go sit down.
Sounds about right.
She's funny, bro. I can see where you get it from. She's like you. She's sneaky with it.
Yeah.
Yeah, you just look at her and you're like, oh, she can't harm anything. And then
But she's way nicer than me.
Way nicer? Yeah. Oh yeah. By far.
Yeah.
She'll give anybody the time of day.
I cannot be compared to her in that way. No.
Oh, not at all. Welcome to By Popular Demand. This is episode 4. I am your spontaneous, vocal, and honest host, Wyatt and Tibbs, here with one of my nearest and dearest friends, Candelaria Tibble, a.k.a.
I don't think I've ever heard you say that.
Candelaria? I've said your full name before, Candelaria.
Oh.
Candelaria.
Okay.
So Candelaria, what can we do? Candelaria.
God, got him going now.
I don't know what I'm gonna have to let that one soak.
Okay.
For a week.
All right.
We're here with Tibbs, and Jaren unfortunately was not able to make it this week. His ass decided to eat some burger or chicken strips or something non-cooked at O'Reilly's, and has got food poisoning. So we're hoping you get better, bro. He should be here next week.
That sucks.
Yeah, isn't Checkers and O'Reilly like the same brand?
Yeah.
Yeah, I've gotten food poisoning from Checkers before, man. Before picture day, school. So you know how you try and look as fresh as you can get on picture day.
Yeah, and your face gotta be right. You gotta get that sleep in.
Yeah, and bro, I was up I got maybe a half an hour worth of sleep that whole night. But I still put it together. I had that white polo shirt with the little blue horse with the
what year was this?
Sophomore year. So my first year at Richmond.
Oh, okay. Damn.
And I popped him. I hit him with the Columbia Force with that polo.
Oh, okay.
And I thought, man, I'm at Richmond. My drip's gonna be superior out here. Mm-hmm. I walk in, like 20 kids have the same polo shirt on me as me. I'm like, what? I'm like, are you kidding me? I was so upset. I'm not even gonna lie. I was like, oh, so this is how it's gonna be. Like everybody wearing the same thing. I go, all right. But anyway, episode 4, man. We're already a month's worth of content down. Major news alert. Starting next week, as you all should know, we drop our episodes on Wednesdays. Starting on Thursdays, we're going to be going live to talk about the episode with you guys. You guys can interact with us, ask us some questions. It's going to start at 8 o'clock Eastern Time, 8 p.m., and it will be on the By Popular Demand Instagram account. The Instagram account name will be put in the bottom of this video. And just kind of hop on, talk about our takes on the episode, or you can ask us anything. Just crack some jokes, and I know it will for sure be me, and either Tibbs or Jaren will be joining me on the live. So we're excited about it.
Yeah, I know they want to ask about Jaren's boo.
Oh,
saw that in the comments.
Yeah, we're gonna save that for next week's episode because he was unable to make it. We'll wait until actually let's call him. Let's see if he'll answer. You call him up, Tibbs. You call him up. See if we can get him on the line real quick because we know this is what the people want. So we want to give.
He's probably with her right now.
Well, let's find out.
He's sick. Let's see.
If he did this would be wild.
You have reached the voicemail box.
Wow. Well, that gives us all we need to know. But anyway, shout out to all of our first-time listeners. Shout out to our second, third, and forever listeners. We appreciate you very much. Who else we shouting out, Tibbs?
Who else? Well, you already shouted out Kelly, but I'll do that again.
Yeah,
that
man.
Was fire.
Yeah, that
speech by Amelia Earhart.
Yeah. If you don't know, my mother, Kelly Lozano, starting up a business called Girl on Fire, and had a pretty badass conference at the convention center here in Port Huron, and something that really hasn't been done, and had a bunch of great speakers. And it was really, really dope. So if you're looking for some inspiration, I highly, highly recommend following her page. And like I can't be that positive as she is. Will she be posting online? Mm-hmm. Yeah. So it was a really good time. I got to see a lot of people I haven't seen in a while. So a real dope event. Shout out Patrick Mahomes. I told y'all the Chiefs were going to make the Super Bowl. My whole other Super Bowl bracket, every other team that I predicted was absolutely terrible. So, but I was right on the Chiefs. So, shout out to Patrick Mahomes, Andy Reid, and the whole squad.
I'm going to jump on that and say shout out to the Detroit Pistons for being trash once again.
Yeah, right before we started recording, we were recording here on MLK Day. And we saw the Pistons lost to the Washington Wizards. And they really only have one good player. But that's Detroit sports for you. And I guess that's what you're getting when you ride for Detroit sports. But anyway, let's get into what you guys are really here for about the music. And we had quite the surprise drop Friday morning.
Mm-hmm. We did.
Eminem coming out with surprise album out of nowhere.
Music to be murdered by.
Listen through it. What's your take on it, Tibbs?
My take? I mean, the cover and everything, the vinyl cover, because that's what he was, assuming he was going for that, because you can see like the round of the cover, vinyl. But I think he should have dropped it like Halloween.
Halloween time? See.
That's the vibes I get from it. Like the cover, the content of the music.
Right.
Just, like Godzilla and like.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like the vibe.
I got you. But also, I think that Eminem and Juice WRLD record, that wasn't my favorite one on there, but that's going to be the mainstream record. Yeah. And I can see that record still being played come September, October.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. What was your favorite?
My favorite one on there, it was my favorite one, but I had a pet peeve about it, and me and Jaren were actually talking about it. It was called In Too Deep. So In Too Deep, and me and Jay were talking about it, and I was like, you know who would kill the chorus on this record? Ty Dolla $ign. If you go and listen to that record and you hear where Eminem comes in with the little melody, it's not bad. Like, it's still a really dope song. Mm-hmm. But if he put Ty on that hook, it would have been nuts. But he has some pretty different features on there I was not expecting. When I saw Young M.A.
Yeah, I was like, ooh. That was where I gravitated to, and that's my favorite. Unaccommodating.
Well, let's get into there. Good segue, because he did drop a line in that song that stirred up some controversy.
About Ariana
the
Grande.
Bombings of Ariana Grande, Tibble. This is the M y'all asked for. Y'all killed him for the last two albums, including myself, because it was more catered towards mainstream audiences. And he came back and he talked his reckless shit. Mm-hmm. And that's what you're going to get with it. But at the same time, he had a record on there called The Darkness record, where he's in first person talking about putting himself in the shoes of the killer in that Las Vegas shooting. So at the same time, he is bringing attention to different things that he should be praised for, but that's just how us as a society works, is we just pay attention to the bad or the anything like that. So, whatever. But overall, very good project.
Listen to that stepdad.
Oh, he was...
He was, wow.
Well, that one and the...
Killed his chihuahua?
And the one he was talking about, the other record he had on there, Leaving Heaven. He was talking about his real dad. Talking about, man, forget heaven, I'm coming to hell, and I'm coming for you. That's pretty much what he said.
Man, but that stepdad, he killed his little dog. See, you can mess with me, but if you mess with my dog,
right,
that's on period.
Right. But great work by Eminem. I think this is the best album we've got from M in a long time. Time. Really, really good project. And I don't think there's much more to be said about it. I haven't heard much more about the Ariana Grande thing. I think that was just a little...
Everybody was taken back.
It was taken back, but
it's not going to carry on.
It's Monday when we're recording this, and I haven't heard anything about it since Friday. So, what else dropped? Mac Miller.
Yeah.
Mac Miller. Did you listen?
Yeah. I liked Good News. I mean, I listened to all of it, and it had just a story and, what he was going through. It has meaning to it. It's just not my taste.
The sound was very repetitive.
Yeah.
And I don't know if this was a complete finished project. I'm going to guess that it was not. Mm-hmm. I would imagine if Mac was still here with us today, that this project would have sounded a little bit different. But at the same time, this is the project that we received, and kind of going to what I said again, I listened through it, sounded good. Don't know if I'm going to go back to it.
Yeah.
So.
Like, I'd listen to Good News, like, doing homework. Maybe. On shuffle. I wouldn't go out of my way to, look it up.
Right. Yeah, I'm right there with you. I'm happy, though, that we were able to get another Mac album. He was able to tell us more of what was going on with him, and God rest his soul, man.
Dope music videos.
Mm-hmm.
Really cool.
Also now getting into your boy JB Yummy. What was he doing reaching for that number one?
I told you would give me shit. Y'all was giving me shit.
Yeah.
I was like, he doing too much. You were like, man, that's how the industry is. I was like,
he's
going out of his way, though. Like, really bad.
Yeah, you're right.
Desperate.
You're right. You're 100% right. And the thing is, I listened to the song a few times after we recorded last week, and I'm like, who actually says something is yummy?
I sure don't.
No. Nobody does. So it's like I don't know. I'm still looking forward to his album.
Yeah.
I'm still here for his album. But I don't know. I definitely think he was tripping about that record. And going off of that, I was pretty damn on point talking about Roddy Ricch is going to have a number one record in 2020.
Yeah.
I hit that right on the nose early.
Yeah.
So congrats to Roddy Ricch, man. It looks like his project is going to have a big carryover into 2020. Mm-hmm. But what else has been going on with you? What else has been going on with you this week, Tibbs? Tell the listeners what the vibe's been around. The vibes?
Man, just trying to not slip in the SC4 parking lot on that ice. Get to class safely. Do my work. Get those grades.
Man.
And be on my way.
Man. Now that I'm thinking about it, that shout out we did for Big Boy Sean.
Huh.
Man, talking about that girlfriend. Boy,
That was a bad idea.
Boy, did we miss that one. We shot. I'd say we get him on the phone again, but I don't need him talking reckless. But we've all had that time where we were young, you know, and had that little fling and just didn't work out and be, you know, kind of upset about it.
I don't know. A week. I've had flings, but not a week long. I don't know what. I mean, maybe a month. At least. Summer is like 3 months.
Oh, man.
A week, though? Respect, but I don't know if I would get that upset.
Right.
I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
Yet again, I'm not in the shoes.
Man. Talking about shoes.
Here we go.
Talking about shoes.
Man, we should have just a separate podcast just to talk about shoes. Because you could go on and on, because I know how passionate you are. Shoes and fashion, you'd get in your bag.
You know what really bothers me?
Huh.
Is like people who buy shoes and never wear them. Like just have a bunch of shoes and like rarely wear them. And 2, people who have like good taste in shoes but terrible taste in clothing. Does that make sense? Yeah. Like somebody who wears some bogus outfit with shoes that don't coordinate. Like, I don't know. I feel like if you're going to be into shoes, to wear them. And granted, I understand there are some people who can only afford a pair or 2 of shoes a year.
Yeah.
I understand that part of it. That's not what you could still, you can't tell me you can't start a little side hustle up to get money, and you just gotta be on your hustle with it. You can buy pre-owned pair of Jordans on eBay for $100, get them, really clean them up. You know, they'll have a few dinks in them, but people, you know, unless they're really looking at the shoe, they ain't gonna see it. But yeah, I don't know. A lot of people, like, I see it at State all the time. A lot of people will have the Yeezys on, or I see a lot of Jordan 1s, and then they'll have like a Fila hoodie on. I'm like, what are you doing? Like,
because they spend all the money on the shoes and they don't, you know, they don't balance it out.
That's very true.
You know?
That's very true. But talking about shoes, pretty interesting story. I bought a pair on eBay for like $130, right? And I'm for sure everybody listening knows what StockX is. If not, it's just another place where you can buy shoes. So I had a bid in on a pair of shoes on StockX that I forgot about. And I get a notification the following day after I buy the other pair on eBay that the bid went through on StockX. So I go to my bank account, and $250 taken out of the bank account in the last 2 days. Now, granted, for a college student, $250 can be a lot of money. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? And like, I like to have a little bit of a cushion. Uh-huh. You know what I'm saying? To lean on. Yeah. So like, I wasn't hurting for it. Yeah. But like, you know, I was like, the pair I bought on eBay was kind of like an impulse buy. So I go to my man's and I'm like, look, yo, can you cancel my order? My friend wanted these for his birthday, and now he don't want them. And he was giving me a hard time about it, but he eventually canceled the order. But I was looking like, man, why are you being so salty? Like, I get it, right. But also selling stuff on eBay, there's been numerous times I've canceled somebody's order for whatever reason. One time, a kid took a guy's phone and bid on the item. Granted, if that story's true or not, I don't know. But, right. You know, stuff happens.
And so, it's eBay. You can always relist it. Keep it moving.
Right. And on top of that, the thing is, like, with how eBay is, even if you have no returns, if the person really wanted to return the item and go through that process, like if they were that stingy about it, they can. Right. And eBay will just be like, okay, well, we'll let it go through. But Yeah, so shout out my guy for refunding me that change for those shoes I would have probably never worn.
Damn.
Yeah, that's my problem with shoes. It's like impulse buys, and then only wearing them twice.
Right.
Yeah, that's my problem with it. What's your craziest story with sneakers, Tibbs? Like, what's the
craziest?
Yeah.
I mean, agitating story. Go back to eBay. I one time was trying to get like Kobe 8 or something, and basketball season. Got those things. I think they said they were new, used, and had cigarette smoke.
Oh, see, that's what I always ask.
It was like really bad.
That's what I always ask before I purchase something on eBay. I ask if it's from a smoke-free home. Because just, I value the stuff that I'm buying. And if I'm paying you a pretty penny for the thing I am paying you for, you know, that's one thing that I prefer it not be. And I have multiple people in my family that smoke, but it's just, that's how...
You want to go about it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I remember one year was freshman year of high school. Mm-hmm. The night of snow coming. And those Master 12s came out. Mm. I had a game Friday, or it was either a game or a practice. I can't remember. Game or practice Friday. And I went and talked to them. They're like, yeah, it's going to be first come, first serve. Get out there at like 6:30. I'm like the 12th person in line. Right. So I'm like, this is going to be cutting it close because usually you only get 2 size 13s in. So I get to the front, waiting there. They started moving people at 9. So I was there for 2.5 hours.
Hell no.
I get to the front, ask for 13. They say no. The guy behind me says... And I was crushed. I was like going through my mind. I'm like, you know what? Forget it. I'm going to just cop a different pair. Like, going back to that impulse buy.
Yeah.
I was like, I was in the mood to pay money.
Trying to fill that gap.
Yeah. So the guy behind me goes, what size you wear? I'm like, well, I'm a 12 and a half. So I usually just go 13. He's like, oh, well, 12s run big. So you should be fine with a 12. And luckily I got the 12. And... it was all good. Got a few good years of wears out of them and sold them. That's a crazy hustle, though. To see some people just build empires selling shoes, reviewing shoes. Like, that's nuts.
I watch Cool Kicks on YouTube. That's pretty cool.
I've seen some of his stuff. I watched, like, Tony D. Too Wild, Mike Rich, there's a few more. Bullet RC, Seth Fowler, I think's his name, or I don't know. There's a few other guys I watch that
Blazendary.
I haven't heard of him. That put out good content. So, but before we wrap up this episode, we're gonna get into what's on repeat. We don't have Jaren here today, so. We're not going to be able... We're only going to have 2 songs on repeat for you. Tibble, I will let you go first.
I'm going back to Kid Cudi, 2010. I thought it was like 14 anyways. Man on the Moon 2, The Legend of Mr. Rager. Mr. Rager.
Okay, I'm with you. I'm gonna go back to that time too. I'm gonna go Lil Wayne, Love Me, featuring Drake and Future. Off of I'm Not a Human Being 2. I recently just kind of did a deep dive on all of Lil Wayne's older stuff, like from his run from 08 to like 13, those like 6 years where he was just putting out hit after hit after hit.
You know who's putting out hit after hit too? That's like nowhere to be found. Kesha.
No, she put out music. It's just
where's she at?
It's just more like more
Nobody
soulful stuff. I don't know, but anyways, thank you for checking us out and listening. Remember, Starting next week, we will be on IG Live on Thursdays. Episodes drop every Wednesday. Over and out.